Hi! Villains. Every hero needs a villain, but not every villain needs a hero, because they ain't as needy as those little bitches. I've usually liked villains more than heroes in movies. I just think villains are more interesting, more, just fun characters. If I was in movies, I'd rather play the villain than the hero, because it seems like the guys who play the villain, they're having much more fun than the guys who play the heroes. Also, with my fascination with villains, that you might be able to draw some psychological conclusions about my personality and shit like that. I consider myself as villain of gaming and movie YouTubers because I'm really not the traditional kind. I'm just an asshole with camera and mic and lights and a lot of free time. So also I don't really censor myself that much. So I guess I'm the villain of YouTube. Moving on, this is my top 10 villains in movies. Action movies. Mostly action movies. This is not, I didn't take like monsters, movie monsters or anything like that. Nothing supernatural. There won't even be sci-fi shit. There won't be, Terminator. Villains that are flesh and blood and in action movies. Action movie villains. I think I've confused everyone enough, so let's get on with the list. Oh, and we're gonna start this list with probably the most frightening image you can get in your head. Number 10 on my list is Chuck Norris without the beard. Before he was a hero in all those action movies, he was actually a villain, at least 2 times I know. The other one was Slaughter in San Francisco. I haven't seen that. I saw that movie as a kid. I don't remember anything about that. I always kind of wanted to see it again. I need to get that. The movie I'm talking about this time, he played a guy called Colt. And the movie was Way of the Dragon.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so usually I like my villains being really cartoonish and evil and just total shitheads, but Chuck Norris in this movie, he really wasn't any of those things, at least not that much, he really wasn't even in that movie too much, he was closer to the end. Probably the main reason why I put him here is the fucking last fight against Bruce Lee. Still, best movie fight ever done. Kung Fu fight, 101. It's so goddamn good. Chuck Norris, Bruce Lee. In an epic Kung Fu battle or karate battle. Well, Chuck Norris did karate. Bruce Lee did Jeet Kune Do, so he was a class of stars and it worked fucking perfectly. And to dot the I, it was a cat. I don't know, Bruce Lee just wanted to show a cat there every now and then. I'm not complaining. I think cats make every scene better. Another fight scene that has cat in it. I think the cat is why that fight scene is the best fight scene ever done, but Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris, those are probably your best bet with the cat, make it even better. But even though Chuck Norris isn't really that much in the movie, even in that last fight, you still get a kind of good overall view of his personality, he doesn't give up, he's out there, fight until death. I mean, Bruce Lee breaks his fucking leg and he can't even stand. Bruce Lee is showing him like, stay down. Chuck Norris, he don't stay down. He comes at Bruce Lee and Bruce Lee breaks his neck. Shit, that's kind of a spoiler. Well, we all knew Bruce Lee was gonna win, but I guess I should probably, in my later villains, be careful not to expose how they die. If they die, because they don't maybe always die. Who believes that crap? Action movies, the villains always die. But yeah, Chuck Norris, without the beard, he's one tough son of a bitch. Number 9 is my favorite little shit in movies. I kinda have soft spot for little shits. They're usually annoying and everyone hates them, but they're little shits. They're supposed to be annoying and you're supposed to hate them. But yeah, my favorite little shit is from The Warriors. Luther.
We can do some looking too. Ought to make you feel better.
Hey, what about the money you owe?
What?
Oh, he's so fucking good. I love him. I just watched The Warriors like 100th time or something like that. Luther is so fucking little shit. I can't really say cool. Little shits, they usually aren't cool, but that's not their thing. They're little shits. Yeah, I fucking love him in the role. You know, he at the start of the movie he shoots the leader of the biggest gang in around New York or something like that. When there's the whole meeting with the gangs, and he wants to unite all the gangs because there's more gang members than there are cops, so they could, you know, take over the city. But yeah, Luther shoots the leader of the gang member who called for all the other gangs there, and then he puts the blame on the Warriors, who need to go to Coney Island, which is their home turf, you know, through all the other turfs, so you know they're kind of fucked.
The warrior! He shot Cyrus!
You made it crazy. I didn't do nothing.
We saw him!
Yeah, that's him.
He's the one! He's the one! The Warriors did it! The Warriors did it!
But yeah, Luther is the one that made that happen. I don't know, it's just hard to say anything else. Of course, there's the iconic scene with him in the car and the 3 bottles, you know, clinging them together, you know.
Warriors, come out to play. Warriors, come out to play.
And it's satisfying when the end comes and, you know, things go the way they do. Well, he wins! Ha! Didn't see that one coming. Anyway, watch The Warriors. Fucking fantastic movie. I'm just gonna move on from this little shit. Dude, next little... I don't know if they're little shits or... Well, we'll just move on. So, number 8 on my list, it's actually 2 people, cause they kinda go together. So I wanted to include them on this list as duo. You'd say this is my top 11 list. Anyway, the duo I'm talking about is probably the most sadistic, sick, fucked up in the head people on this list. I mean, they're fucked up. That's all I can pretty much say. They are Slick and Ivan.
It's a beautiful day for a skate race!
I love those fucking names. Slick and Ivan. They're a couple of brothers from Hobo with a Shotgun. I didn't say that yet, but yeah, from Hobo with a Shotgun. Of course, Rutger Hauer movie. Rutger Hauer movies are usually pretty fucking awesome, and this one doesn't disappoint. And it was one of those movies that was an homage to old exploitation movies, or in this case, kind of homage to old Tromaville movies, you know, like Toxic Avengers and shit, you know. So I'm not complaining, I love that sick shit. Yeah, in the movie, Rutger Hauer comes into town, and the town is run by this crime boss or something like that. The town is corrupt as shit. I mean, you can't trust the cops, you can't trust anyone. But then there's Ivan and Slick, and they don't got any friends. They got people who fear them, because they are fucking sadistic.
This cocksucker gave me the shittiest Christmas presents.
I hate Christmas.
They're just fucking out there. They're crazy as shit. They're batshit crazy. They're crazier than batshit crazy. They just basically kill you if they feel like it, and they got 0 good bones in their body.
You kids like ice cream? Yeah! And bicycles? And hobos! I hate hobos!
What can I say? Those guys are just 2 sick fucks. I love it. I love it. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies ever. I know it didn't make my top 10, but close, you know. Fantastic movie. Sick movie. Sick movie. Not for everyone, but for sick bastards like me. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Anyway, moving on. Number 7 is from a movie that I just watched like 2 nights ago again. It's been like 10 years or something like that since I last watched that movie. I should watch that more often because it's a fantastic movie. Fantastic villain! I fucking love this guy. There were actually two choices in that movie that I could have put in this, but I chose this one. This one was better. Movie is Mad Max 2. And the villain I chose was not humongous, even though I loved him too. I think better villain in that movie was Wes. I didn't actually know his name was Wes until I googled it, because I don't think they mention his name anywhere in that movie. Maybe in the end credits, but yeah, who reads those? Where to start with Wes? He's so fucking cool, you know, with his red mohawk, and he's insane and screaming all the time. It's kind of the main villain's right hand man, main villain being humongous, which, like I said, was cool too, but Wes, I think he stole the show when it comes to being villainous. And you know what? I always remembered that Wes, he had that motorbike. I always thought he was with a big, really, like bodybuilding type blonde woman. That was dude. While I'm recording this, it's still Pride Month. While I'm uploading this, it's not. I guess that's fitting, although I'm not sure if Wes was gay. I think he was gay. I mean, Wes was in Commando too, which sadly didn't get on this list. He was great in that too as villain, but on that movie he kind of looked like Freddie Mercury on steroids, and Freddie Mercury is gay, so is Wes gay? Or the actor gay? Or, I don't know who's gay here. Well, since it's still Pride Month while I'm shooting this, let's pretend everyone's gay, Gay. Anyway, Wes, yeah, a big hulking, fucking menacing villain who's just batshit crazy too, but in a kind of different way than Slick and Ivan there. He's just a force to be reckoned with. I mean, he's big and bulky, and he's terrifying when he's coming at you and screaming and looking like that, with the big red mohawk and Mad Max. Post-apocalyptic armor on and shit like that, with his buttocks hanging out, cause he's gay. He's wearing chaps, where his ass is just hanging out. Well, anyway, I really don't care. I love quoting him often. He doesn't talk too much in that movie, he mostly just screams like ah. But there is one line I always kind of like to quote at times,
We go in.
I love that. It's so fucking great. It sounds like he's, kind of constipated and he's trying to push out the poop while he's saying that. It's fucking great. And during the, final chase, he's so goddamn creepy trying to get on the fuel truck. I'm not gonna go too much into details, I bet most of you have seen Mad Max 2. I hope so. If you haven't, watch it. He's just a fucking bastard. He kills my favorite character he kills that supermodel looking woman. And yeah, I'm always mad at Wes for that, because I really liked her. I heard she actually has cancer. It was found last year. I was just, Googling the people from that movie, just, curious what they were doing. Anyway, Wes. Maybe he's gay, maybe he's not, but he's number 7 on my list, because I love him. In a brotherly fashion. Not like I want to put on assless chaps like him and ride a motorbike with. Well, I'd do that. There just wouldn't be any sex. Moving on. Now, number 6 on my list. When I say his name, I want you all to be all ears. 'Cause it's Andrew Scott.
You just can't walk away, do you hear me? Do you hear me?
Most of you are probably like, who? It's from Universal Soldier, Dolph Lundgren. Now the ear reference, that's 'cause the movie starts with him going totally berserk in Vietnam War, was it? Anyway, there's Jean-Claude Van Damme, and there's Andrew Scott, Dolph Lundgren. Dolph Lundgren is the bad guy, the villain, and he goes fucking nuts. He starts killing civilians and collecting ears. He's making a necklace out of ears. I want necklace out of ears, fake ears, fake ears. I wouldn't want real ears. I mean, they start to stink up the place, after a while. They do rot, so, Maybe you can put some preservatives or something, so the ears might, would last longer and not, go bad. Just, curious. Not like I plan to do that. Anyway, they both die at the start of the movie. Spoiler! No, actually, that's the whole plot of the movie. They die and they get resurrected as Universal Soldiers, which is, well, they turn dead soldiers into Universal Soldiers, which are these kind of super soldiers.
You're wasting your time. He can't hear you.
Jesus.
More agile, stronger, faster, better shooters, better taking orders, to a degree. So Van Damme's character starts to, kind of doubt the whole thing little by little. There's a reporter gets in the mix, and they end up running with Van Damme and the reporter. And of course the government or the secret military unit, whatever, controls the Universal Soldiers, sends the other Universal Soldiers after Van Damme, and well...
Say goodnight, asshole.
Good night, asshole.
I think it was at one point they wanted to abort the mission or something like that, or... Well, anyway, Andrew Scott, he doesn't listen to that kind of bullshit. He takes his mission seriously. So he goes batshit crazy, and Dolph Lundgren is just fantastic as villain. I mean, Ivan Drago. I was kind of wondering if I should put that character on this list, but it's a boxing movie, and technically he's not a villain. He's just a villain to Americans. He was considered a hero for the Russians. And then there was the priest character. He was in Johnny Mnemonic. Is that how you pronounce it? The Keanu Reeves movie. He was that, what was it, kind of sci-fi priest, tech priest, something like that. He was fucking insane. I loved that character. And also Expendables 1, where he was kind of the semi-villain in that movie. He stole the show in every Expendables movies. He's at his best when he's playing a psycho. He's so underrated, when playing a psycho. But Andrew Scott is my fucking favorite. He collects ears. He's fucking crazy.
When I'm fighting this thing, man, I kick ass. Well, kiss ass. And I'm busting heads.
I love Dolph Lundgren. He's such a menacing bad guy because he actually knows how to kick your ass too. He's really believable in that department. Let's move on. I've been going on about things that have nothing related to this goddamn video. Way too much. I'll try to be faster. Next we get to number 5, and this guy everyone knows. I'm pretty confident everyone knows. Everyone should know this guy. Not just because he was in 80s movies as this guy, but there's also a new, now it's Netflix series. I'm talking about John Kreese.
Ask leave boy alone to train.
You're a pushy little bastard, ain't you?
But I like that. I like that.
Karate Kid 1 and 3, and well, he was in 2 also at the start, but yeah. And obviously Cobra Kai, the series. That is fucking fantastic series. I love that show. Anyway, John Kreese, of course, villain is... Well, he was definitely villain in the movies. Well, definitely is kind of absolute word, but he was psychotic karate instructor. During the TV shows, he kind of gained more character out of that, so you can kind of sympathize with him much more, especially... the last season, I've heard the next season is the last season. It hasn't come out yet, but yeah, I've always rooted for John Kreese. I like him. I love him. He's a bastard, He's he doesn't take weaknesses. Weaknesses piss him off, and in some ways I'm perfectionist, and if I have a job, I like to do it, and I like to do it, as good as I can usually. Couldn't probably tell by looking at these videos I'm making. I'm just not that good at these. But yeah, it always when someone just half-asses things or is lazy, it just pisses me off. I love to go fucking John Kreese on them and just sweep the legs.
Sweep the leg. You have a problem with that?
John Kreese is probably the guy I can relate to most from this list. Wait, yeah, let's say John Kreese is the one I can relate to most from this list. It's not that he's evil or bad, it's just he's been through shit, you know, Vietnam War and all that, and it kind of toughened him up. But he comes off as just really great villainous character, even though he's kind of more complex after seeing the TV show, you know. If you just watch the Karate Kid movies, he's just basically an asshole karate instructor. Really cool at that, but you know, still, for me, Karate Kid and Cobra Kai series has always been about John Kreese. That's like the main attraction for me.
The gang's all back together. Almost all of us. My condolences.
But yeah, John Kreese, he's fucking ruthless. He's ruthless, you know. He's my number 5. Forgot the number. Number 4 on my list, it's Sergeant Barnes.
Death? Well, you all know about death.
I can't for the death of me remember if they even mentioned his first name during Platoon. I just watched Platoon like week ago, 2 weeks ago. Fantastic movie, Platoon. I fucking love that movie. It had been like probably closer to 20 years since I last saw that, but I watched it again and holy shit, it's one of the best war movies out there, you know. Definitely on my top 3 war movies ever made. Charlie Sheen is just fantastic. Willem Dafoe is fantastic, and of course, Tom Berenger. Well, he's Sergeant Barnes in that movie, who is kind of the main antagonist or the villain in that movie. Him and Willem Dafoe kind of have this power struggle in their unit, so you know, they're constantly butting heads, and Willem Dafoe is more, well, he's a nicer guy, and Sergeant Barnes, Tom Berenger, is well, he's just a ruthless dick. One of those types who just goes out and kills civilians and, you know, all that shit. You know, he doesn't take any chances, and he's a bastard.
I don't think I'm gonna make it out of here. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Everybody gotta die sometime, Red.
Barnes he's got his own boys who are all kind of assholes, and then there's the Willem Dafoe's group who are like to smoke weed, so they're more calm. It's just such a good movie about war and how it really fucks people up. Also, I love the big fucking scar he had during that movie, and they did go over what he had, you know, kind of been through, so that kind of explains why he was so fucked up. So, you know, again, you could kind of argue if he was like villain, it was just when you've been through shit, you go crazy. I wouldn't say Sergeant Barnes was like crazy. It was just that he was kind of like John Kreese too, you know. He was ruthless. He didn't take weaknesses, you know. He didn't show any mercy. He was a shithead.
You tell him. He starts talking, or I'm gonna waste more of them. Tell him, Leonard!
I don't know where I'm going with this, but Sergeant Barnes, I fucking loved him, and that betrayal, ooh, that was. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about, but if you haven't, watch it. You really want to punch Sergeant Barnes. You really want to shoot Sergeant Barnes. You really want to set him on fire and not piss on him. Such a bastard. And we're down to my top 3, and these 3 fuckers were on this list from the start. Numbers 10 through 4, yesterday I kept switching them up because I still wasn't sure. I mean, there are a bunch of names I left out of this list that I would have liked to add, but you know, there's only so many numbers. There's only 10 numbers on this list. I could have done top 50 probably, but I chose 10, so deal with it. Now the top 3, I could have put this in any order though, and I would have been happy, but after serious pondering, yeah, I feel like this is the right way to put these guys. Number 3 on my list is, don't swear or you'll get a ticket, Simon Phoenix.
You will find display the walls around you.
So sorry.
Various
Didn't see you
weapons
there.
used for violent life termination in wars and
From Demolition Man. Cause in Demolition Man, if you swear, you get a ticket. Let's face it, Demolition Man, Stallone, Wesley Snipes, it's basically Wesley Snipes show. Wesley Snipes is so much fucking fun in that movie. He's probably the most cartoonish villain on my list, and I love it. He's just such an evil bastard and psychotic. He just steals the show every time he's on screen. I wish he would have been more on screen. I wish Stallone should have been like less on the screen. More Wesley Snipes, less Stallone. I love Stallone, but goddamn, in that movie, that was Wesley Snipes' show. Just the outfit, you know, the orange shirt and those, blue overalls, jean overalls, and the blonde hair. It just makes him look like straight out of comic book. And I usually don't like comic book stuff too much, but he looks like fucking great comic book villain. He should go up against like the Punisher or something. He'd fit right in that world. He'd be probably the guy who wins Punisher at the end. He's so cool.
Hey, wait for me!
Simon Phoenix is probably the funnest villain on this list. I still like, almost every time I say fuck you, I kind of say it like Simon Phoenix, you know?
Violation of the verbal morality statute.
Fuck you!
He has the best fuck you in the movie industry. And with him just being so athletic, you know, he's just so intimidating villain. Even though he's really fun, you're still fucked. You know you're fucked when you see Simon Phoenix. He's just an outright menace in the society, you know, a future society in this movie. What was it, 2032 or something? We're closing up on that and things aren't looking good. I'm pretty sure they'll start giving tickets from swearing at some point, you know, shouldn't be too many years. I'm gonna go bankrupt if they go back and check out these videos. Damn. But yeah, he really should play more villains. He's just so fucking fantastic.
And I am sorry to say that the world has become a pussy-whipped Brady Bunch version of itself.
But Wesley Snipes, Simon Phoenix, Demolition Man, so much fun. If you haven't seen Demolition Man for some weird reason, go check it out. If you have seen it, go check it out again. You can't watch that movie too many times, you know, just because of Wesley Snipes. Stallone's okay in that too, I'm not saying that, but Wesley Snipes is... Stallone is like here, Wesley Snipes is like... really high. Not saying he was high during that movie, I don't know, maybe he was. Who knows? Awesome. And we're down to number 2, but before I mention number 2's name, Bitches Live. Some of you might have guessed already, some of you might have guessed that this person's gonna be on my list because I have his shirt a lot of times. Now I don't have, now I just have kids sacrificing Toby. I usually do have his shirt. It's from 70s show, Red Foreman.
How about I drive my foot into this thing called your ass?
Oh wait, Red Foreman. Clarence Boddicker.
How you doing? Bitches leave.
Clarence Boddicker from RoboCop. He's so fucking good. He's such a fucking asshole. He has his own gang and it's a pretty fucked up gang. All the gang members could have been on this list. They're all so good built characters. I love them all. Even Bobby. Even though only thing Bobby does in that movie is, well, tries to fly.
Can you fly, Bobby?
Clarence, no!
Couldn't actually tell you who Bobby is, but I can tell you the rest. Okay, I can't remember all of their names either, but I know their faces. I think Emil was the one who got in the toxic waste. I think his name was Emil. Not sure. But the moment Clarence Boddicker and the rest of the gang, they catch Alex Murphy, who they end up shooting the shit out of, it's still one of the most gruesome scenes in, well, at least in action movie history ever. From that scene forward, I mean, even before that, you know, when there was the whole can he fly Bobby thing, from that scene, Clarence Boddicker just steals the fucking show every time he's on screen. It's just fantastic, the dialogue and how he delivers it, the before they start shooting the shit out of Murphy. The rest of the dialogue and just how the guy, fuck is the actor's name? Well, I can't remember it, but just, you know, the way he delivers all the dialogue throughout the movie, just...
I got the muscle to shove enough of this factory so far up your stupid wop ass that you'll shit snow for a year.
Frankie, blow this cocksucker's head off.
Ooh, guns.
So fucking, it's menacing and kinda hilarious at times. He's just one of the best villains ever. He needs his own show, just where he's Clarence bodyguard and he does fucked up shit and delivers fucked up lines like that. I mean, even in 70s show as Red Foreman, the way he delivers his dialogue, how he's gonna shove his foot up your ass, it's just fucking perfect. He's a perfect fit for that character. He's probably my favorite character on that whole show. Kurtwood Smith! That was his fucking name. Kurtwood Smith. He's just fantastic villain. Funny, intimidating, entertaining. What's not to love? Bitches leave. Don't leave yet. There's still number one, but after that. And we're down to my favorite villain of them all. And at the start of this video I did say this was humans only and from action films. This last film kinda has some horror vibes, little bit, but yeah, I still do consider it as action thriller maybe. That's maybe closer to truth what this is, but yeah, action still. And when it comes to being human, well, this character, you could say it's kinda up for debate. He does come off as human and you can't really prove otherwise. Just the way he's always at the right place at the right time and he can predict some shit really accurately and he is a fucking machine, killing machine. He's almost more like a evil entity than human, but we're gonna go with human this time. And the villain I'm talking about is from one of my all-time favorite movies, John Ryder, from The Hitcher, the movie Hitcher.
You gonna tell me where you're going?
Yeah, sure.
Now, he's kind of weird one. He's not really like comical, he's just sinister and he's almost, like I said, an evil entity. Start of the movie, the main character picks him up because he's hitchhiking. That's why the name The Hitcher. Just the dialogue and all that he delivers there, you know, he tells the story about the last car that picked him up. So, ominous, if that's the real word, ominous. I'm using a lot of new words here. Yeah, ominous. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, when he starts telling the story about the last car ride he got, it's so ominous and you know something's off. Then you just kind of don't know if he's fucking with you or not, and that's kind of the brilliance of that scene in my opinion. And but when he pulls out a knife and threatens to stab the eyeball of the main character, that's when you pretty much know that, yeah, this guy's not really mentally in the healthiest place.
You want to know what happens to an eyeball when it gets punctured?
Anyway, the main character kicks him out of the car and escapes, and that's where the movie begins, and John Ryder just starts tormenting him throughout the drive through the desert. Whenever the main character stops at some place, it feels like the John Ryder character has already been there or is there. There are just too many weird coincidences like severed fingers in your french fries. Love that scene, it's fantastic. Like the character of John Ryder, he's not a man, he's an evil entity. He's just scary. And it doesn't help that he's being played by Rutger Hauer, who, well, he has a face to play scary parts, you know. He's fucking fantastic as the villain. He was born to play that role. He's so fucking good as the psychotic John Ryder who is tormenting Jim Halsey throughout his drive through the desert. Yeah, he's just pure evil.
The guy's empty.
Yeah? Yeah?
John Ryder, my number one villain. My all-time favorite villain. I'm just gonna end this video. This has probably been a really long rant. I feel like that. God damn it, I tried to be fast. I think I fucked it up again. Well, I'm just gonna keep the end here short. Bitches lit. Wait, cause I left. Did I just call myself bitch?